to correct the date. It doesn't change anything with the case. In the initial release I put out August 8th. An officer was flagged down at the Sheets at the corner of Shipyard Boulevard and Independence. It was actually August 3rd, so that's my mistake. But on August 3rd, a patrol officer was flagged down at the Sheets gas station at the corner of Shipyard Boulevard and Independence, and was advised that two teenage girls had located some pills in their Blizzards, which is, as you probably know, is an ice cream product you can get from Dairy Queen. There were paramedics that were already there at the Sheets. They weren't specifically called for this incident. In fact, that's actually why we believe that they stopped there. The paramedics checked them out. It did not appear that the juveniles had ingested any of the foreign substances that were located in their ice creams. The officer confiscated the pills. A presumptive field test was conducted on those pills. We'll talk about that here in a little bit too if you have questions. The field test is presumptive in nature. Okay, it's not a laboratory test. That comes later. That is in progress right now as we speak. Based on the presumptive test and the totality of everything going on, safe to say one thing led to another. Report was taken. That report was forwarded up to our Criminal Investigations Division, which any report that has follow-up factors is forwarded up to them. A detective began investigating the case. Obviously that involves going to the scene of the crime, talking to those involved. During that investigation, surveillance video was discovered and handed over to the Wilmington Police Department that clearly shows Mr. Yoakley placing the pills in the ice cream. Based on that, other things discovered in the investigation, that detective pursued charges against Mr. Yoakley. It was on the 26th that he came to the police station and was taken into custody, and those warrants that have been taken out and were served. And then he was transported to the jail, the New Hanover County Detention Center. He was given a $100,000 secured bond by the magistrate and was able to post bond and is currently out on bail right now. That's kind of where we're at right now. I think most of that information is probably already known. I know various outlets have obtained court paperwork through the clerk's office as public record and gleaned other information there. So if there are any questions you guys have, I'll try to answer them, and I also have my help over here that can potentially answer or clarify anything that you may be curious about. I'll open it up.
I think I probably know the answer, but will you guys be releasing that footage?
No, we're not going to release it. The case has to go to court, and once it goes to court and is presented as evidence and the case is adjudicated, there's a potential then. But no, we won't be releasing it prior.
Have you guys found exactly where Yoakley got the pills from?
Don't believe so. Like the source? No. No.
Are you all able to say what type of narcotics were found?
Do you, Kevin, you want to kind of...
The pills that were received...
Come on up here so they can...
No, it's fine. The pills that were received that night were tested in a field test, which is not conclusive. It just gives the officer an idea of what we could be dealing with, especially for narcotics or poison or anything like that. So the presumptive test showed that it had the same compounds as other drugs. It may very well not be those drugs when it comes back from the lab. So that's where we are right now. So for us to say it's not absolute as to what it was, it definitely was a pill because it was wet. The markings weren't readable. So we're not going to jump to conclusions. We only listed the type of drugs that were, I think, released in the warrant because that's what they tested for in the street, but it may turn out to be something else.
So the street field tests basically are designed to test for compounds that make up illegal narcotics or narcotics in general. So it indicates the compounds, the chemical compounds are there. So there's no question, we're talking about drugs here. It's just getting to the point where it's isolated, identifying exactly what drugs are there, that's in progress right now with the lab.
Would it have been a lethal dose?
Hard to say. Hard to say. Not being a medical professional and not knowing specifics, how different folks metabolize things, I really can't say whether it would be lethal or not. There was not a huge amount, and I know that's kind of a broad term there, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't, we're talking 1 pill per container. So, and I don't know what the milligrams come up to be or anything like that. Again, a lot of that stuff's gonna depend on the lab findings.
Just to confirm something you said earlier, you said you believe Mr. Yoakley stopped at Sheetz because paramedics were already present there?
I believe so. So I believe the young ladies that are involved in this case, when they discovered the pills, they became very concerned and emotional, and I believe the 16-year-old involved was driving, and right now it looks like that due to concerns, fear, panic, if you will, made the decision to pull in there. So we think that decision was probably made by the juveniles to go to the gas station since they saw an ambulance or paramedic vehicle there.
So if Yoakley is from Surrey County, do you all know why he was out here in Wilmington?
We believe he has a residence here. Yeah, so I don't know about his residential status in Surrey County, but we do know he's a resident of New Hanover, or he is a resident of New Hanover County as well.
We had heard he's got a bit of a criminal history. Can y'all elaborate on that?
I'm actually not familiar. I haven't run his criminal history. I'm not familiar with that.
Have you spoke to the family or the girls?
The girls were interviewed extensively for the case, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So the females involved have been interviewed.
And did you cover the relationship of the girls not necessarily being?
I didn't go deep into that. So we know one juvenile is a step granddaughter.
Well, at least he referred to him as granddaughter, but the other one's a friend of the granddaughter.
Correct. Yeah.
I don't know if you're able to elaborate. What did he have to say about this?
I don't know myself, and I can't find out and elaborate on that. Yeah. What else?
The parents, have they said anything?
Not that I'm aware of. Our investigators have been in contact with the family and spoken to them, but again, that would be something in confidence between them.
So at the time that these two teenagers flagged down, someone, did they have any inclination that it was potentially their grandfather?
It didn't appear so initially. So when they went to the Sheetz because they saw the EMS vehicle there, it was actually the paramedics that flagged the officer down in conjunction with the juveniles that were there. The officer happened to be in the area. So it all kind of happened rapidly and quickly, but yeah.
Did any of the girls express concerns, with his behavior? Is this the first time that something like this has happened, or did they feel any sort of way?
At this time, we don't know. And I can tell you, based on what I've been informed or what I've been told, is that the girls were very upset. They were very upset, very concerned, panicked. And of course, that was this incident. But as far as like indications of any other past behavior or anything, I can't go into that if that's been expressed or not.
And just anecdotally, this is kind of a wild case. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
We've seen cases before where people have put drugs in people's drinks or food. It's happened before, and it does happen. Just based on my experience, this is the first time that I know of where it's been like this kind of dynamic with a family member. But that's certainly not to say, it's never happened before. That's just based on my experience. It's not an everyday occurrence. Typically when you think of people putting something in someone's drink, you're traditionally thinking downtown or, roofie, if you will, or something like that. And that could be a completely different scenario. But yeah, I mean, as far as in my experience, family member wise, it's the first I can think of as I'm standing up here, but it's, again, certainly not to say it's never happened before.
Were they all driving together?
Yes. Yeah, they were all in Mr. Oakley's vehicle.
Did he place the pills in the drinks at the Dairy Queen?
Yes.
Can you
Yeah.
elaborate on how he concealed that?
I don't know how well. So I know in the video, just to kind of summarize it, he can be seen placing something on the counter, and it's pretty apparent that when the employees make the drinks, you know, he's trying to observe if anybody's observing him, and that's when the items are placed in the blizzards or drinks, however you want to editorialize it. But yeah.
And when you guys went back to that Dairy Queen, and I assume asked, you know, what stuff, did they see him doing anything? Did they ever
No.
see anything?
No, they didn't give us any indication that they picked up on any suspicious behavior. They missed it, I mean, basically. I mean, which is to be expected. From what I understand, it was around closing time. Maybe 4 employees there, I think. So it was around closing time. They're closing up shop. They're doing their thing. You know, they're making ice cream, so they're not necessarily on guard, you know, to watch what a customer's doing. So it's definitely not on them. And there was obviously an effort by Mr. Oakley to try and conceal his behavior. So
So this mostly occurred at night?
what time it was in the evening?
Near
Yeah.
closing time at night, and to point out, both victims of this remained in the car the whole time, so it was a situation where there wasn't anybody around watching.
Right. So he
And
ordered.
Dairy Queen has been absolutely helpful with us. Anything that we
Yeah.
need, and they supplied all the surveillance footage that they have from several different angles, and at no time did we believe that they had
Right.
anything to do with this case.
Yeah. If anything, regardless of how this case is adjudicated, Dairy Queen and was collateral damage based on somebody else's behavior. What else? Is there anything you guys needed me to bring up specifically, or I think it kind of covers it?
You told me Anderson Cooper was going to be here.
That's the only way I could get you down here, man.
I guess, is there anything can you say about, you know, where the kids are? I mean, I'm assuming they're with their parents now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They're safe, but you know, I mean, that's obviously a priority. Anytime a juvenile is the victim of a crime or exposed to a crime or anything like that, Health and Human Services, commonly referred to as DSS, becomes involved. And you know, obviously, the child or juvenile's welfare is something that's paramount, regardless of the case. So, you know, their well-being is looked after by us, along with, you know, partners at DSS.
I'm not sure if I missed this in the news or anything, but is Yoakley still in custody, or did he bail out?
No, he made bond the day of his arrest. He posted it was a $100,000 secured bond, and he bonded out.
And to make sure that I'm the ignorant here that I'm under, if we're not talking ice cream that this was put in, we're talking Slurpee, like a drink.
It's ice cream. It's like a really thick milkshake.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Blizzard. So anybody that frequents Dairy Queen, you know, if they're familiar with a Blizzard, it's a milkshake you eat with a spoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your next steps now moving forward with the investigation?
So basically, looking into any aspect that could branch off of this investigation, any kind of behaviors that we can discover that led up to this incident and during the incident. Obviously, there's the lab aspect to this. Our partners with the Sheriff's Office lab are the ones processing the pills. So that's obviously a part of it. There's obviously will be a lot of conference that our investigators will have with the District Attorney's Office. So, you know, and this isn't just unique to this case. Anytime there's a case of varying degree of severity, once there's arrest, even after the arrest, it's very common for the investigation to continue on. So It's not like, arrest is made, the book's closed, and we wait for court. So there's a lot of loose ends we tie up, a lot of post interviews or additional interviews that are conducted, just things like that. Nothing that will really change where we're already at. If anything, it'll just build on the case.
And when will those results on the pills be ready? Is there like a timeline or?
It's hard to say. I mean, I don't want to throw a timeline out there and kind of like make anybody feel like they're closed within. The local lab here is more than capable, excuse me, more than capable of handling this request, and the turnaround usually is quicker than it is at the state lab, which is just because the state lab, North Carolina State Lab, handles North Carolina, and they have a huge workload. So the lab here is capable of doing the exact same tests, and the turnaround is typically a lot quicker. So it won't be real long, but I mean, it's going to take them a little bit of time to do what they need to do. But not as long as it would if we sent it up to the state lab. Again, just because the state lab's workload is heavy.
I know nobody's been convicted yet, we want to basically establish that, but if there is a conviction here, he's looking at some pretty serious time, I would think.
Potentially. Somebody at the district attorney's office could probably consult you better on that, but it depends on what level he's convicted at and prior history, anything like that. But it is safe to say, yes, that there could absolutely be time, a sentence that would require active time. That is correct.
I could probably ask the DA or look on e-courts, but do you know when his first court appearance will be?
So his first appearance based on the felony charges would have been Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, the day after his charge. So anytime anyone's charged with a felony, they'll have a felony first appearance, which is typically the next day, especially if they're arrested later in the day. So that has already occurred. I don't know when his next court appearance will be. It is online. It should be online. I just haven't looked at it.
And then just to get this correct, August 3rd was when the patrol officer.
That is correct. That is correct. In the initial statement I released, I said August 8th. That's our mistake. It's August 3rd was when this initially happened. And the investigation carried through to the 20th. I mean, really, the investigation's ongoing now, but he was taken into custody on August 26th.
And just to confirm, those two shooting images were both female?
Yes. Yeah.
Is there any particular reason why the public was notified, a few weeks after the incident, compared to like other incidents where a press release would come out,
Well, it was because of his arrest. So we typically, there's a lot that goes on in Wilmington, right? Like any other city our size. So there really wouldn't be a reason, especially in this case, if it was an unknown. Honestly, it could do more harm than good in putting it out there to say, hey, something happened and we don't know what's going on. It was relatively quick in this investigation that we developed Mr. Oakley as a suspect. And of course, we're definitely not going to advertise that. We want to make sure we can gather as much evidence as we can. So, yeah, I mean, this wouldn't be one of those situations where we put out a media release or anything like that until the arrest was made. What else? Anybody?
And let me prove my full ignorance.
No, you're
Can I
good.
get you to repeat both first and last name, and you're dealing with the world's worst speller? Can I get you to spell first? and last
Mine?
name? Yes,
Mine?
sir.
Okay. I was about to give you somebody else's name here. I'm just kidding. My first name is Greg, Greg. My last name is Willett, Willett.
And your rank, sir. I think you've already mentioned.
Yep, that's all right, Lieutenant.
Okay, thank
Yep,
you, sir.
and everybody likes to drop a T on my last name or add an S. 2 T's, that's it. Yes.
Just to clarify as well, was it the granddaughter that was driving, or was it the friend?
This step granddaughter, she's 16, that's correct.
So it was a step-granddaughter and then her friend?
Correct, yeah,
is the friend also 16?
15. Yep. What else?
So the step granddaughter was what age, and then the
Step granddaughter is 16, and the friend was 15. I think we've covered it. So if it's just anything else, I mean, you guys feel like you need to get on record. I mean, obviously, there'll be more developments in this case as we go on, as it naturally progresses. But as of today, I mean, that's pretty much everything where we're at. I mean, you guys know the majority of the case. I mean, what you don't know, we've got to keep concealed, but it's really, y'all have the meat and potatoes of it, honestly. Good? All right. I appreciate you guys coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.